Hi everyone. So this week I want to talk to you about my tics at sporting events, specifically Cleveland sporting events. A lot of people that have watched my videos probably see that I wear Cleveland sports attire a lot. It's mine and my husband's favorite teams are all Cleveland teams. We support. I'm obviously from Ohio, and we're not very far from the Cleveland area, so we're big supporters of our home teams. We both lived in Ohio our whole lives, so we are especially Cavaliers fans. We are big basketball fans, and those are the games that we love going to the most. We are quarter season ticket holders this year, which has been fun despite the rough season that we've been having. We'll always be fans no matter how bad it gets, but I wanted to talk about this because there's a lot of things that play into my tics when I'm in areas where there is large crowds of people and there's just so much going on and my brain kind of goes into sensory overload. It gets a little difficult for me, and so I thought it was an important topic to bring up, especially because it is something that me and my husband do so often. So I'm going to focus mainly on Cavaliers games. We were just at one last night and we go to those the most, like I said. So when I am in the area of the arena, or even just like getting closer to it, that's when my tics kind of really start to amp up. My feet start to kick the ground. I start to slide them on the ground. I kind of have to like kick one foot and then I kick the other one, and like I said, I kick the ground with one foot and then I kick the other foot like twice, and then I have to do it opposite. So then I have to kick this foot and then I have to kick this foot twice. It's just kind of, I have to do it in a pattern, and it's what makes me even more nervous because I'm trying to do it while I'm walking so I don't trip in front of people, so I don't cause anybody behind me to run into me, and so I don't cause a scene. So I try to cause less of a scene as possible because obviously it's in my head, and so it's really difficult. And so most of the time I'm not doing the tic correctly because I'm just trying to do it while I'm walking and kind of mask it in a way, and so therefore it amps up those urges and it amps up that tics even more, so it just kind of has a snowball effect. So then once I get into the area, I'm doing the same thing and I'm doing it continuously because there's people all around me. There's all kinds of noises happening. People are running into you and bumping into you, especially if it's a big game or it's a big night. There's lines, and there's people in lines standing out in the hallway while you're trying to walk around them. You're trying to go and get your seats and find your seats. And so it's a whole thing, and I think my brain just goes on sensory overload, and I get a little anxiety and anxious because then I start to think about it while I'm ticking. Like, what are people around me thinking? Are they staring at me? Are they going to say something? Am I going to trip and fall in front of all these people? Or when I come into a dead stop, is it going to make somebody angry enough to yell something at me and then not believe me? Those are the times where I worry the most about people bringing it to my attention and then not believing me when I tell them why I'm doing that. I haven't had that instance at a Cavs game just yet, but it's in the back of my mind every single time, and I think that's what triggers it that much more, besides all the stimulus and all the sensory overload and everything happening. I start to worry about what other people are going to do or say, and I hate that I even have to admit that I'm worried about that because I hate being worried about other people's opinions of me. But there's so many people, and so many people can be mean, that I think anybody with Tourette syndrome can really understand what I'm talking about here. You just start to worry about what's going to happen and the effects of how your Tourette's will be on strangers. So I do tic a lot at Cavs games, especially at the beginning, especially when we're walking around. When I get back to my seat, I'm generally more okay because then I feel like more people are just focused on the game, on the court, on the giant screen, and I don't think they really care about what I'm doing. They probably don't really care what I'm doing either when I'm walking around. It's probably mostly in my head, but it's still a worry. But once I get back down to my seat, I generally don't tic. I don't tic quite as constantly as I do when I'm walking around. Clapping kind of it triggers tics, like the tics that I've been doing in this video now. I think when I'm clapping, it kind of moves those back muscles, or when I'm jumping or like getting into the game, it will trigger those muscles that need to start to tick. Or maybe it's just the excitement of the game or the frustration. All of those emotions, again, they play a factor. So I will start to tick a little bit during the game. It doesn't end And then again, as soon as we get up to start leaving, I start kicking the ground again. I start ticking all over the place again, because again, and this time it's even bigger crowds, and it's just such slow motions and such slow movement that I almost feel like I'm trapped within all of these people, and that if I go into a full-blown tic attack, I don't know what's going to happen. And so I just start to think of all those things, and I kind of, I guess, bring it on myself a little bit. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. It's a big part of my life, so I wanted to talk about how my body reacts to situations like that, because I'm sure somebody out there can relate, and where somebody's worried about going to an event. And I've never had an instance right so far where somebody's been super rude to me. Like, again, I convince myself, I think, in my mind that somebody's going to do something, but because I know it happens to people, and I get a little nervous, that's all. It won't stop me from going to all the games. It won't stop me from cheering them on, because I still need to live my life. I'm not going to let Tourette syndrome make me sit in the corner and never go out again, because I can't help it. And if somebody has a problem with me not being able to help it, their problem, not mine, so it'll never stop me. As much as it makes me anxious, it will never stop me from going to the games. I love them way too much. So hope you guys enjoyed that little part of my life with Tourette syndrome, or with my tics. I will be back next week talking about a new topic, of course. I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to subscribe to my page, and remember to go to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/1tic@a-time. There's going to be some really new, exciting stuff coming up about my Northeast Ohio 5K for Tourette syndrome. It's the third event, and I'm so excited. We have a date nailed down, and that's going to be announced this week. So make sure you go to the page, like it, follow it, and so you won't miss any of the details. And I hope to see you guys there. Like I said, also one more quick thing, in my last videos, I am going to be starting to do interviews with other people with Tourette syndrome, or parents of children with Tourette syndrome, etc. Like all of that stuff. I want to share more than just my story, because I think it's really important to share a bigger array and a bigger realm of Tourette syndrome, to really get everybody the right idea of what this disorder is like, and to really show people that it truly is so much different for every single person living with it. So if you are one of those people who would like to collaborate with a video that I can post on here after we are done, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and share your story. See you next week.